what's up? It's Matt in Japan. Welcome back to my channel. And just in time for Halloween, we have the Transformers and Universal Monsters collaborative figure. This is Draculus. Now, I bought this figure a little bit after Halloween last year. Didn't get around to reviewing it. So I said, definitely this year, I'm going to do a review for around Halloween time. So here is Draculus. Now, this is my first time with this figure. Not the first time with the mold, as it is a retool of the old Titans Return Mindwipe figure. So anyways, let's take a quick look at the packaging. There you see a very, very cool image of Draculus. It says Dracula, but the name of the figure is actually Draculus. So let's get up close there. I just love this image there. Very, very cool. Very spooky. The Universal Monsters, Dracula, Takara Transformers on the side. You see the collaborative logo there with the bat wings there. He is a Decepticon. Draculus is a Decepticon. And again, it comes in this sort of like, old school like VHS packaging. On the side, you see the Authentics logo, Dracula, and then a picture of his noggin there, Universal Monsters. On the bottom, product info. On the side, you do see the sort of VHS tape there. Universal Monsters, you get the Decepticon logo there. And Dracula 90th anniversary, a very cool image there. And then on the back is where we see our product shots. There is Draculus and the caped Draculus, and he converts into his bat mode there. Again, collaborative logo. And yeah, that's about it for the packaging. Now, this does open up like all the other figures, so you can see Draculus inside. And yeah, I have not opened him up yet, so let's get this guy opened up and see what he's all about. Very, very cool. Okay, here we have Draculus out of the box. Before we get into his details, let's take a quick look at the accessories he comes with. He does come with two accessories, which are identical to the Titans Return Mindwipe accessories. The first one being his blaster, which is done in a black plastic with some really nice red paint. And I love the way they do the gradation here on the tip. But yeah, for the most part, it's the same thing. But I think this color just, obviously for this release, the black works way better than that sort of bright purple that we saw in the other release. So yeah, he got his blaster there. And then this thing here, which is sort of a, not really sure what this is. It's another weapon. I guess it's kind of a shield. You can fold this back and kind of use it as a shield. It does have a port here, and you can, plug in your gun if you want to have like a sort of combined mode like that. This is also used in the tail piece for the bat mode. This kind of plugs in and gives it some stability. But anyways, for the most part, same thing, just done again in a black plastic with some really nice gradation with the red going on there. So very, very cool. You do have some kind of blasters, so you can use it as a gun or a shield or a combined mode. So very cool. You can have this in or you can have this out. I kind of like it out, a bit more menacing with that out there. But yeah, for the most part, those are the accessories. So anyways, let's pause here and get into Draculus's details. Okay, here we have the caped Draculus, and I really love the inclusion of the cape of this figure. I mean, it's Dracula. You gotta have a cape, right? So very, very cool. It's just done in a sort of, it's just kind of like a black nylon. And it does have a point here in the back. There's a little hole right there in a post that kind of clips on there. And it does have two slits for the back wings. And very, very cool. And you can kind of, you can kind of have it out like that, or you can have it kind of cover up his body like that. I really like this look. So the very cool caped look. Anyways, I'm going to take the cape off and we'll get into more of his robot mode details here. So just taking the cape off. Comes off very easily. Just kind of have to pull it off. And that is him without his cape. But yeah, for the most part, let's look in detail to that head sculpt. I think this new head sculpt on this figure is very, very cool. A very robotic Dracula looking head sculpt. You get the silver paint for the face, you get the red eyes, it's some really nice sculpted detail there. You get the silver ears there, and I love the inclusion of the collar. I mean, that just really makes it Dracula. The remolded part there of the collar there, very, very cool. And again, this whole sort of suit, sort of tuxedo look here. You got this sort of kind of off-white paint for this neck part, and then the chest part. Again, a little bit of silver highlight there. So very, very cool. It definitely looks like he's wearing some sort of tuxedo or some sort of, jacket or whatever. Everything else is just black, and you get a little bit of white, again, that same white for the lower arms. The hands are painted in silver, which is very cool, but a lot of black. I mean, it's Dracula, he loves black. He's a goth. And then, this is just basically the Titans Return Mindwipe mold, but for the most part, you see the bat head hanging out there. And you do have the wings back here. The one complaint I did have with this figure back in the day is all the soft plastic. These wings are the soft plastic. The legs too are, partly that soft plastic. So not a huge fan of that. But this is definitely a better looking figure than the Mind Wipe, or at least it's a good reuse of the mold. But yeah, for the most part, that is the robot mode details. Let's take a quick pause here, and we'll get into his articulation as he falls down. All right, articulation for Draculus. He does have a ball-jointed head, which is very cool. He can look up and down and some side to side. He can turn all the way around. So very cool. So yeah, he's got some nice head movement. These wings back here, you can fold them back. I kind of like the wing look like that, but yeah, you can kind of fold them back for a little bit cleaner look. And then these are all just on ball joints. So, you know, the arms, the shoulders can go around. He does have an upper bicep swivel, and then, which I kind of forgot that Titans Return figures had. He does have a little bit more than 90 at the elbow. He does have... Actually, no, he doesn't. I thought he did have wrist rotation. No, that's for transformation. So his hands can go in and out, which is, you know, that's a sign of the times there. So he's got some arm movement there. He does have a waist swivel, full waist swivel, so no problem getting that waist all the way around. He can do the full splits and then some. He's actually got some very highly articulated hips there. And again, those are just on hinges there. And then he can kick back that much. He can kick up about 90 degrees, not too much. He does have a really high knee bend. His lower legs are very, very long, so he does have a high knee bend there. And then he does have a swivel at the upper thigh again. And then there is some toe rotation here because of transformation. He doesn't really have any ankle rocket joint, but there are kind of toe articulation there. So for the most part, you know, for this figure being as old as it is, not too bad in the articulation department. So that is about it for articulation. Inclusion of his weapons. I do like the silver painted hands. And then on the instructions, there's a post right here on his forearm. It says to plug in like that. So you can plug it in like this, or you can actually have this as a handheld weapon as well. So you can have it like that, or you can fold this up, having this folded up, and then just having this sort of as a shield. However you want to do it. There's options. So I kind of like this kind of look. So with the shield like that. So yeah, that is Draculus in his robot mode. And here's a quick comparison between Draculus and Frankentron. And obviously Draculus is a little bit smaller. The Titans Return Mind Wipe mold was a little bit smaller back then, as the Siege Impactor mold, which we see with Frankentron, was a little bit bigger. So anyways, a quick comparison. I would love to see more in this line. I think it'd be really cool if they had like a werewolf. Maybe if they used that Titans Return, I think it was a Weird Wolf. Maybe have him as a universal monster as the werewolf. I think that would be really cool. I can't really think of any other molds or bots that would be good for this Universal Studios monster series, but that's the only one I can think of. It'd be cool like if he had like a Bride of Frankenstein with like RC or Elita 1 or something. It'd be cool to have a female in the mix there. But anyways, a quick comparison between Draculus and Frankentron. Let's get Draculus transformed into his bat mode. See how he looks. Okay, here is Draculus in his bat mode, and for the most part in this mode, he is exactly the same as the Titans Return Mind Wipe mold, just with some different coloring, and you can have the cape in this mode as well. So there are slits on either side for the wingtips there, and then there are 2 slits on the back for these little wings to come out like that. And then he does have the accessory plugged in here to sort of, keep him stable, but also as a pseudo sort of tail. So anyways, I want to get the cape off, and then we can get into more bat details. Okay, sans cape, let's take a look at Draculus's bat mode details. Now, you don't really see a lot of the molded detail in the robot mode, but in the bat mode, you definitely see a lot of that molded detail. And this figure is actually just laden with detail in this mode, especially on the insides of the wings. But before we do that, let's take a quick look at that head sculpt. And this is just, I really do like this version of the sculpt better. You get the piercing red eyes. You get some nice reddish paint for the ears here. You get some nice silver paint for the mouth. And then again, like I said, if you just go down this figure, there's molded detail all over the place. The more you look, the more you find. So you see the little feet there, especially on the wings here. Unfortunately, you have some stamping and things like that. But, I love the gradation of the black going into the red. And I really love that sort of blood red that they use. But yeah, look at the amount of detail on the inside of the wings is really, really cool. Again, a little bit distracting with the stamps and stuff like that. But yeah, really, really cool. And just a really nice update to the old Mind Wipe mold. And then on the back here, like I said, there, he does, you can take this out. It's basically just for stability and just kind of weapon storage. But that's how he looks on the back. You see his head tucked away right there. But even on the back of the wings, you get some really nice molded detail. You still get the same sort of black, soft plastic on these wings. But again, some really nice detail there. And just, yeah, a whole lot going on. The more you look, the more you find. You get a little bit of hollowness on the back of the head there. But yeah, pretty cool. I never really cared for this mold when it was mind wipe, but having this sort of Draculus sort of Universal Monsters version is very, very cool. A good reuse of the mold for sure. As far as things that can move, articulation, I guess, the head does come down for transformation. The mouth can open and close, so you do have a closed mouth and an open mouth like that. And then this part again, because of the Titan Master in the old mold, it does still open up, so you can throw some Halloween candy there, maybe some candy corn thrown there for later. That does still open, and of course these are all hinged wings here, so you can have some fun with posing the wings and things like that. Sometimes this comes on tab like that. But for the most part, yeah, you get, articulated wings. You get the mouth that opens and closes. The head comes down a little bit just because of transformation. And then, of course, the legs are still on the ball joint, so you can pose the feet a little bit like that, but not a whole lot. So for the most part, yeah, that is Draculus's bat mode, and very, very cool. Again, like I said, a very nice reuse of the old mind wipe mold. Okay, so some final thoughts for this Universal Monsters Dracula and Transformers crossover, Draculus. This is a really fun figure. I really do like this line. Frankentron was really cool. I love Dracula. I don't know why I never picked him up, but just decided to get him. Love displaying these guys around Halloween time. They make perfect little display pieces. And yeah, some things don't change, especially with this mold. They still have that soft plastic, which I'm not crazy about. But yeah, both molds are very cool. I love the inclusion of the cape. It just makes it so much, it makes it more Dracula, more spooky and things like that. And there's some really nice paint going on in the robot mode, especially the head and the detail, the sort of recoloring in the bat mode with all that red and black just really makes it pop. So yeah, overall, a very, very fun figure, and I'd love to see more figures in this line. But anyways, yeah, this has been the video review for Universal Monsters Dracula Transformers crossover Draculus. And don't forget, he is a Decepticon, so that makes it even better. Always welcome more Decepticons in the collection. And yeah, just a fun figure to mess around with during Halloween. And he's very, very goth, which of course I love. But anyways, yeah, thanks for watching, guys. This has been Matt in Japan. Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Hit that notification bell for more great content. And as always, till everyone, and happy Halloween! Oh, no,